Welcome to the Myrmidon Expedition's tutorial on combat boosters. In this tutorial we'll be going over the steps and process necessary for producing drugs and manufacturing them within your own player-operated station. First thing you need to understand about combat boosters is they can only be put into a pause. The manufacture of them cannot be done in stations or anything similar. They have to be manufactured at a pause because it's the only thing that is able to utilize reactors. First step process, obviously, get a pause. You're going to need to anchor it out in 0.3 space and lower, mainly because the reactors necessary for doing this type of work require that level of security. Second thing you're going to need to get, drug lab. These are pretty inexpensive. They only go for around 10 to 15 million ISK. If that's a lot for you, then this isn't for you. Second thing you need to grab, biochemical silo. Biochemical silos are necessary for holding the unrefined cloud material, which is then processed into the refined pure molecule necessary for production of the actual boosters. Next thing you're going to need to get is 2 general storage silos. Now, I want to bring up a very important point. When you're doing standard booster manufacture, you require the 2 general storage silos. However, if you're only producing synthetic combat boosters, you only need 1 general storage silo. The third thing you're going to need to get is a hazardous chemical silo. This is used to house the pure chemical once it's been processed from the cloud. Now, as a tidbit, if you're going to be doing standard production or synthetic, it only requires that you have 1. However, if you do improved, you're going to need 3 of these. Last thing you're going to need is a medium biochemical reactor array. Make sure you don't accidentally get a biochemical reactor array. The medium biochemical reactor array is necessary for producing the synthetics and the standard combat boosters. The normal biochemical reactor array is for producing improved, but before you can make improved, you need to get the medium biochemical arrays so they can assemble the standard material, which is then processed into the improved and then into the strong. But we'll get over more of that later. First step of the process is, once you have all the structures you need, you're going to need to get blueprints. Blueprints can be found on the contract market. They have a wide variety of different types, and they generally go by the different types of boosters that are currently out in the EVE Online universe. You have 4 variations, or what's also known as potencies of the drugs, lowest being the synthetic, next being the standard, then the improved, and then strong. Then you also have the different varieties of all the drugs. You have blue pill, crash, drop, Frentix, mind flood, soothsayer, and X instinct. Depending on which one you're going to be manufacturing and depending on which clouds are more abundant in your area, it may be a good idea to find a localized material rather than materials that are found in abundance everywhere. For example, if you're Caldari, focus on things like blue pill and crash, since the amber, cyto, and mycocericin, as well as the golden cyto and mycocericin, can be found abundantly in the Lone Trek and Citadel regions. Now, as you may have noticed, there are 2 types of clouds. There's mycocericin and there's cytocericin. Cytocericin is necessary for producing the standard, improved, and strong drugs, also known as combat boosters as well, and mycocericin is used to produce the synthetic versions. The general difference between the two is synthetics only provide a 3% bonus, but don't have any negative side effects. Cytoceracin, which is used to make the standard improved and strong, do have side effects depending on the potency of the drug and, well, obviously how many you use. Okay, with that much said, next thing you're going to need to get is the gas cloud. You can purchase the gas cloud pretty much anywhere on the local market, or you can mine it. Mining gas clouds can only occur in normal empires and nullsec space. Bear in mind you're not going to be able to find this stuff out in wormholes. And it has to be found in LADAR sites. These are exploration sites used by probing. Once you have the gas, last thing you're going to need is you're going to need the reactions. Now these can be found in local market, except for the synthetic versions of these reactions. These have to be purchased on contract. Now you can also find these reactions in blueprints also by doing complexes. Generally 3 of 10s and higher usually provide a couple of BPCs for the drug blueprints, as well as sometimes containing the actual reactions. However, if you need to find just the actual reactions quickly and don't want to waste time in complexes, best bet for standard, improved, and strong is in your local market systems, JITA, HEC, or Dodixie, or MAR. And for the synthetic, you will need to check for them in the contracts. Alright, now that you have your reactions, your structures, your gas clouds, and your blueprint, we can go ahead and start the process on doing the first step of drug manufacturing. First step, you're going to need to get the gas cloud and put it into the anchored biochemical silo structure. Bear in mind when you're doing standard and synthetic, don't online any of the silos or any of the other equipment. The only thing you should initially start immediately is the hazardous chemical silos, mainly because you're not going to be putting stuff in there yourself. The reactions are going to do that for you. So once you have the gas clouds inside the biochemical silo, go ahead and online it. Then go over to your general storage silo. Now if you're making synthetics, one commodity, all you need, and that would be garbage. If you're making the standards, some of them vary, but most of them stay pretty much just with one type of commodity, water. So if you're making synthetics, just go ahead and load trash and your garbage into general storage. And I don't mean garbage as in the stuff you pick out of missions, I mean actual garbage. It's commodity. So if you're doing, like I said, if you're doing these synthetics, load the garbage into the general storage silo, then online it once the biochemical silo's online. If you're doing a standard, what you're going to need to do is put water in one of the general storage silos once you've set it up to accept water, and then the other, set it up to accept water, but don't put any water into it. I'll go over why a little bit in a little bit. Lastly, go over to your reactor, put in the reaction necessary for that type of cloud. For example, if you're doing blue pill, you're going to need amber, cytoceracin, or mycoceracin. If you're doing crash, you're going to need golden, mycoceracin, or cytoceracin. So, once you load the reaction into the medium biochemical array, go ahead and online it. Then once your biochemical array is online, your medium biochemical reactor, your 1 or 2 general silos, depending on if you're doing a standard or synthetic, and your hazardous chemical silo are online. Go ahead and open up your station, access by manage, go to the last tab on the top called processes, second tab called production. Under here you'll see all the structures that are able to do advanced concepts as far as manufacturing that you won't normally be able to utilize with the blueprint. What you're going to need to do is find your medium biochemical array, and you'll notice on the left you'll have the cloud type for the reaction that you have in the biochemical array. and the commodity on the left. This is the inbound. Materials that have to come into the reaction to mix with the reactant and then produce the end result, which is your pure standard blue pill in this case. So what you need to do, make sure everything's online, make sure everything's set up properly. Take the water from the full silo, put the water in it, click, drag, bring it over to the left side of the screen where the water icon is. Next, take the amber cytosaracin, click, drag like before, bring it up, drop it into the icon symbol for right behind the medium biochemical reactor. Then click, drag the water from the outbound and put it into the empty general storage silo. Lastly, take the pure standard blue pill booster, click, drag, drop into the pure standard blue pill booster. Once this is done, the array, well, below the array where it says online, it'll say online starting up. 15 minutes after that, it'll go online active, and it'll be constantly producing 15 units of cytosaracin. Well, won't get into technicalities, but it'll basically start producing the actual pure chemical necessary once every hour until the total reaction is done. So, now we move on to the next part. Once you have your pure chemical, what you do is offline the hazardous chemical silo, take it out, put it into whatever industrial you're using to haul around your equipment, go over to your drug lab, open it up. What you're going to need to do is find the blueprint. In this case, we'll be using blue pill. Drop it into your assembly array. Then take your booster material. And the last thing you're going to need, shown by the blueprint, is megasite. 4 for every unit. So, going to need to throw some megasite in there. Once that's all in place, go to your Science and Industry window, go over to Installations, find the drug lab, open it up, and do a basic manufacturing process, and then in a few short hours you'll have your combat boosters. And that's drug manufacturing. Well, combat booster manufacturing at least. I'll have a video up later this week on making improved and strong boosters. If you have any questions, you can direct them either to Ava Nightstalker and EVE Online. You can comment on our YouTube page, or you can try to get into Myrmidon-Networks and have a chat with us. We're more than... We actually like helping people understand advanced concepts within EVE Online. So if you have any further questions, just go to Myrmidon-Networks in the people and places or the open chat channel. And we'll hope to see you there. Take care and have fun.